This month, we invite you to enjoy...
We present Tony Hancock, Sidney James, Bill Kerr, Hetty Jakes, and Kenneth Williams in...
Hancock's our far.
Well, here we are. Situation's vacant.
Oh! Me back! It's catching me again. I think I'll have to have a few days in bed.
You stay where you are. It's always the same. As soon as I get the situation's vacant page, your back starts playing you up.
I tell you, my back is hurting me.
Well, it's your own fault. You shouldn't rush downstairs so quickly to tear this page out and burn it. I beat you to it this morning, though, so here we are. Situation's vacant.
Look, don't let's rush into this. We're bound to get some work sooner or later on the stage. Let's hang on a little longer.
You've been hanging on for 18 months. It's obvious they've forgotten you.
Either that or there's no demand for our sort of act these days. Hancock and Kerr, the Whistling Hillbillies.
It's still a good act.
No, me old cobber, she's right. It's us for the situation's vacant.
Well, let's see. Jen's hairdresser wanted in Bulawayo.
No. Don't fancy going to India. Here's a good one. Caretakers wanted. £8 a week, all found. Suit elderly couple.
No, I'm not dressing up again.
It won't be for long.
That's what you said last time. 3 years you had me going around collecting a widow's pension.
It seemed the natural thing to do. After all, I spent 6 months in the attic while you collected me life insurance. Hello. Here we are. This is us. Look. Big black letters. A man's job.
Sounds like hard work.
No. It's the police force. Look. If you are between 19 and 30, 5'9" or over in good health, why not join the police force?
I'll tell you why not. We're over 30, under 5'9", and your back's playing up.
Look at the money. Plus the bunts. Little extras when you're on duty in the marketplace. It says plus house or rent in lieu. Houses. Never thought. I'll do that in French. Do we start again? It says plus house or rent in lieu. Houses available for married men.
I'm not dressing up, I tell you.
You don't have to. Well, not till you finish duty. You can keep your wig and skirt under your helmet and slip into them on the way home. I reckon we can clean up 30 or 40 quid a week here.
I don't think you're entering the police force with the right idea. Police are to uphold the law.
And of course, if we get away with it, we'll know how it's done and stop anybody else doing it. We're doing them a favour, really. Come, William, to the recruiting centre. Knees bend, feet spread out 90 degrees. March.
Next.
Good afternoon, Inspector.
Sergeant.
Oh. Good afternoon, Sergeant. My friend and I wish to enlist in the constabulary, don't we, William?
Yes.
So if you would kindly produce the necessary forms...
Hang on. Let's have a few details first. We don't have anybody in the force.
Anybody?
Let's have a few details. Full names. You first, the elderly gentleman.
William?
I mean you, trousers. And full name.
Anthony Aloysius St. John Hancock.
Mother's name.
Hilda Lloyd George Hancock.
Lloyd George?
Well, time of war, national heroes, you know, they were all at it. You should meet my auntie, Frida Jellicoe. Then there's Uncle Fred Valentino. He's very nice.
Yes, Hilda Lloyd George. Father?
Yes.
What was his name?
Alphonse Gallipoli.
All right, sign here. You next.
William Montmorency Beaumont Kerr, spinster.
Father?
No,
Mother?
no.
All right, Romulus, where were you born?
I don't know. Rumor has it I was raised by a herd of rogue kangaroos.
Age?
Between 21 and 43.
Right, sign here.
Well, if we can have a notebook and pencil, we'll go out and apprehend some desperado, shall we?
Wait, what about your uniforms?
Uniform, yes. I was thinking of something in midnight blue, sort of single-breasted, preferably. Not too tight round the waist, the old tapered shoulders.
What sort of patrol car would you prefer? Nice royal blue drop-in or two-seater sports car, possibly?
Yes, with the white wall tires and a nice...
Oi. Get your plates in those.
These aren't meant for feet, surely. They don't bend anywhere.
No, but your feet do. Now get them on. Now, helmets. What size head?
7 1/4.
Here's a 6. Find an hammer to knock it on with. Now you report to Superintendent Farnsworth for initial training. Dismiss.
Training now for 6 weeks. And look here, tomorrow we're going out of the nasty, cruel world as fully fledged constables. This is by way of being a final examination. Step forward, P.C. Hancock.
Sir?
Will you please demonstrate lesson number 23?
23, certainly, sir. All right, come along, move along there. Stop blocking up the pavement. Move along there. There's good people. Do you mind? Thank you very much. Move along, please. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
8 out of 10.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, you were swinging your truncheon a little too wildly. You must aim it. Otherwise, very good. Yes. Now, next, lesson 18. Cars parked in restricted streets. Constable Kerr will assist Constable Hancock in this demonstration. Go.
Hello. Are you the owner of this car?
Yes, officer.
I've been standing here for 4 days watching this car. Yes, 4 whole days I've been standing here watching this car, and I must ask you to move it.
Why?
It is parked upon my foot.
Oh, beautiful. Just the right touch of sarcasm. And remember, gentlemen, the more motorists you can get into the courts on parking offences, the less time you'll have to spend on duty. Now, next, what is the object of point duty?
That is to see how long a queue of cars you can collect at a given point. When you think you have sufficient vehicles held up, you signal your colleague, who goes down the tail end and nicks them for parking and horn blowing.
Oh, very good. Well done. Yes, 10 out of 10. I can see you'll make an excellent policeman, Hancock. I hereby present you with your notebook, pencil, whistle, and truncheon, and may you spend many happy hours using them.
February the 3rd. First day on the beat. 10 o'clock p.m. Saw a tall, thin, sinister-looking man with a big head loitering on a street corner. Crept up behind him and bashed him over the head with me truncheon. 10:05 p.m. Hid up dark alleyway while they fitted new Belisha beacon. But hey-ho, never mind. Tomorrow I start point duty. It wasn't my fault. If a bee was buzzing round your head, you'd try and swat it too.
Not a very good start, is it, Hancock?
I'm sorry, Sergeant. We can all make mistakes. Good grief.
Mistakes? 2 new Belicia beacons, £10,000 damages for smashed up cars. And now this. Sent round to make sure the pub's closed on time and found 2 hours later on top of Eros singing bawdy songs. It's not good enough. What's the matter, Hancock? Don't you like your work?
Yes, it's not that.
Well, aren't you happy with it?
Happy you don't know.
Well, don't you get on with the other boys?
Oh, it isn't. No, it's not that. It's not that. It's just that they keep making fun of me, then. Do you know what they call me?
No.
They call me Big Feet. Just because I use me truncheon as a shoe tree.
I'll give you one more chance, Hancock. If you fail me this time, I'm afraid I must ask you to turn in your whistle.
I won't fail you, Sarge. I'll make good.
I'm putting you on a new beat, a nice, easy one. And try to keep out of trouble, Hancock. There's a good boy.
Boots, boots, marching up and down again. Boots, boots, marching up and down again. Boots, boots.
Who are you? Copper. Oh, good evening, Sid. Sid.
Oh, blimey, Hancock. You frightened the life out of me in the fancy dress. What's the big idea?
I've joined the force. No need to laugh. Police Constable Hancock, Metropolitan Police at your service. Can I tell you the time?
You in the Knox?
Yes, and Bill, too.
God, blimey, what a piece of luck.
Pardon?
Nothing. Tell me. Are you on this beat every night?
Yes, every night. Patrolling all these posh shops here.
Tell me, whose beat's on the other side of the road?
At Bill's.
It gets better every minute. So you two between you constitute the only law around here for about 1.5 miles.
That's right, yes.
I don't believe it.
What are you doing out here this late at night?
Oh, I'm just doing a bit of window shopping, you know. Any good jeweler shops along here?
Just think now, wait a minute. Yes, there's a good one 3 doors along here. Yes, very good quality stuff.
3 doors along, you say?
That's right, I'll show you. It's just along here. Just as well, me and Bill are on this beat. These shops don't have much protection on their windows, you know. They'll be robbed one of these days. There you are. Look at that display, eh? £20,000 worth of stuff in there at least.
26,565. I suppose there's a burglar alarm somewhere.
Oh, yes, naturally. It's just above the door, you see it?
Oh, yeah. I suppose if it was cut, it'd ring.
Oh, straight away.
Yeah.
Now, this sort can only be immobilized. You won't breathe a word of this to anybody, will you?
Don't be silly, of course not.
No. Well, you do what they did in Rififi. You saw Rififi?
10 times.
Oh, there you are, then.
Oh, it's that sort. Where you squirt a fire extinguisher liquid in the mechanism and gum it all up.
You've got it. What you writing in your notebook?
Eh? Oh, I just remembered it's my mother's birthday.
Oh, give her my love, will you?
Yes, I will, too. Here, look, about the window. How about the window? Supposing a brick was chucked through the window.
Oh, that wouldn't do any good. A steel shutter comes down and traps his wrists.
Hello. That's a new one.
Yeah, of course a bit of wood can be jammed in. That stops it.
Jam a bit of wood in. Yeah, well, of course, even then it's doubtful if they'd get away. I mean, with you and Bill patrolling the street.
Yes. Oh, we're no mugs. What? We'd spot them immediately. As long as they didn't do it between 3:33 and 3:37 in the morning.
3:37. Why, what happens then?
Well, the road bends a bit there, and just for those 4 minutes, me and Bill are out of sight. You can't hear a thing that goes on down here, not a dicky bird. But then they're not likely to know about that, so we're not worried, you know.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. It's very nice of you.
Yes, that's all right. Not at all. It's very nice to talk to you again, Sidney. Good night.
Ta-ra.
Boots, 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 marching up and down again.
Here is the news. Thieves broke into a Bond Street jeweler's shop this morning between 3:33 and 3:37 while the patrolling constable was out of earshot. Will anybody who can give any information please communicate with the chief?
Well, Hancock, these robberies happened on your beat. How do you account for them?
Well, it's obvious. They've been getting inside information. I mean, we constables can only do our duty up to a point. I mean, we can't fight against leakage of information as blatant as this. It's the employees. Yes. They chat irresponsibly to people they don't know. These strangers. That's the sort of thing we're fighting. We helpless against such diabolical cunning we are. Here we are. If I were you, mate, I should warn all shops in the area to guard against careless talk. I go past the bank at 2:23 to check the brand new alarm system.
Yeah?
They're very careful about it because of the bullion they've got in the vault.
I see.
But I don't know what they worry about because the only way to get in is through the ceiling of the lawyer's office above it.
With a pneumatic drill wrapped in a blanket.
Precisely. Then at 2:34, I proceed in an easterly direction to the post.
We are waiting for an explanation, Hancock.
Well, how was I to know it wasn't the lawyer going into his office with a pneumatic drill? Yes, sir, I admit I opened the door for him. A mistake anybody could make. He said he was a lawyer. He even had his wig on.
That's enough, Hancock. Since you've been on this beat, every shop in the street has been robbed except one.
I've told you it's a leakage of inside information.
Well, now we're going to set a trap.
All right, then.
Well, now, eventually, these thieves will obviously try and rob the last shop as well.
I've done my best.
Well, all right. Now... Every Friday, a young lady cashier leaves this shop with a week's takings and goes to the bank. My plan is this. We will employ a decoy. Another young lady will leave the shop at the correct time with an empty bag. We will be lying in wait, and when the thieves strike, we will jump out and overpower them.
Hooray!
The question is, who shall we use as a decoy?
I know the very woman. My secretary. Just the girl. It'd take a gang of 10 to knock her down.
No. I'm not risking my life to get you out of trouble.
There is no risk. There'll be half the force ready to pounce on them the minute anybody tries anything.
Honestly, the first time in my life anybody's likely to try anything, half the police force are going to jump out and stop him.
He's not going to try that sort of thing.
After all these years, any sort of thing would be welcome.
But, Griselda, I've promised the superintendent that you'll do it.
Well, I'm not. Now go away. I've got to finish sewing "See You Later, Alligator" on my sweater before the concert tonight. You'll just have to find someone else.
How do I look, Bill?
Sensational. The skirt's a little too baggy. And you haven't got the colouring for a blonde wig, but otherwise perfect.
I'll be glad when I get out of these high heels. They're screwing up my bunion something horrible.
It won't be long. Hey, it's time to go down the bank with a bag.
Are you ready, Hancock?
I'm ready, Super. I still think we ought to have found somebody else. It's not right, you know, me, a policeman dressed as a woman. It's overstepping the bounds of duty.
Silence! Go out now. It's 1 o'clock. Get out of the street. We'll be watching your every move. Good luck.
My seam's straight.
Nothing suspicious so far. No one's taking any notice of him. Perhaps they're not going to try anything today.
Hey, wait a minute. Look, there's a man following him. Look, the fella in the trilby. He's crossing the road after him.
I think we may be onto something here. Look, Hancock stopped.
Yes, that was the fella. Oh, gee, Tub looks worried.
Get ready, Kerr. I think this may be it.
No, wait until he actually snatches the bag. Yes, look. The fella's going up to Tub. He's tapping him on the shoulder. He's saying something to him.
Good morning, Cheeky. Want to come to the pictures with me?
Up it. Go on, get out of it. Go on. Go on home.
Don't be like that. I saw you wink at me.
I didn't wink at you. Me false eyelash flopped down. Look, buzz off. Go on, up it.
I think you're smashing.
I'll slosh you in a minute.
Oh, that's the I like girls with a bit of spirit. Come here.
Do you mind? Let me go. How dare you? I'm Andy, so I know your type.
Ah, stop struggling. You girls are all the same. You tantalise a man till you drive him to distraction. Here, what about coming to the pictures?
You're making a big mistake. Things aren't what they seem. Go and find somebody else.
No, I want you. I like them with a bit of meat on them.
What do you mean, a bit of meat? I'll fit you such a slosh across the face with my handbag in a minute.
Oh, no, stop messing about. What's your name, dearie?
Mind your own business.
I see you as a Laura.
Do you? Well, I see you as a Charlie. Now, look. Let me give you a word of warning. There are 100 policemen hiding in the shop doorways along here, waiting to spring out on any man who talks to me.
Oh, you must be important. Well, those bodyguards, I bet you're an Eastern princess or something.
Do I look like an Eastern princess?
A beauty like yours would fit in anywhere, my little goose. Come to have pictures with me.
I'm not coming. What's on? No, I can't go. I got a job to do. Now, go on up, please.
Oh, well, let me carry your bag, then.
No.
Oh,
give us
on.
it.
No, come on, give us it. Go on.
You'll be sorry. Give us it back.
No, the least a gentleman can do is carry a lady's handbag.
Ha-ha! All right, you're under arrest.
Me? What for?
We've been waiting for you to try and snatch that bag, and now we've caught you in the act. You'd better come quietly.
But I haven't done nothing. I'm just a young lad trying to find himself a bit of fun.
We present Kenneth Williams, Derek Nimmo, Clement Freud, and Andre Melly in Just a Minute. And as the minute waltz fades away, here to tell you about it is our chairman, Nicholas Parsons.
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Just a Minute. Just to remind you of the rules of the game, such as they are, I'm going to ask each of them to speak in turn on some unlikely subject which they know nothing about for just a minute, without hesitation, without repetition, and without deviation. In other words, they mustn't pause, they must stick to the subject, and they must keep going. Now let's ask the competitors to do their best and start with the only lady representative we have once again this week, Andre Melly. Andre, doing nothing. Can you try and talk for just a minute on that subject starting now?
This is something I love doing, and I'm very good at it. I think the most nothing you can do is to lie on a beach in the boiling sun and roast gently. Or being a tiny little bit ill, not very, just a bit, and being in bed with chocolates and magazines and having people wait on your hand and foot. That's quite good. Then there's,
Derek Nimmo, you've challenged. Why?
Well, hesitation.
The hesitation. There's a definite hesitation, and as the hesitation is upheld by the chairman, that's 1 point to Derek Nimmo, who takes over the subject with 38 seconds left, starting now.
I lie in a gentle summer meadow, looking up at a cloudless blue sky. The birds are singing, skylarks perhaps. The bees are droning past through the
Kenneth Williams, you challenge. Why?
Oh, it's deviation.
Why?
We're talking about doing nothing. He's talking about observing birds and bees.
I consider, Kenneth, that very clever challenge gains you a point, and of course you have the subject with 27 seconds left, starting now.
The subject is paradoxical. It is impossible, of course, to do nothing. Doing implies usage, and of course nothing is impossible to do.
Kenneth, Clement Freud, you challenged. Why?
Ripped it.
Of what?
He's too much of a doer.
Well done, Clement Freud. 1 point to you and 14 seconds left for doing nothing, starting now.
In order to do nothing, you must relax every part of your body, disassociate your mind from whatever it is that you had been going to do, and then lie back comfortably and wait for other people to perform all the functions that you might otherwise have.
As Clement Freud was speaking when the whistle went, that means he gains another point, which gives him a lead. He has 2 points at the end of that first round, with Kenneth Williams and Derek Nimmo both having 1 and Andre Melli yet to score. Clement Freud, your turn to begin. Model making. Just a minute will do for you to talk on that subject starting now.
This is something my wife is tremendously against me doing. Many times she has come into the drawing room and said, "Do not make any models. I particularly deplore this habit of yours." So I haven't. I have spent the time writing books, published at 10 and 6pence, available at all good booksellers.
Kenneth Williams, why do you challenge?
Because it's totally irrelevant. It's deviation.
But it's true.
It's nothing to do with making models. He's
I
publishing
agree.
books at 10 and 6pence.
I quite agree, Kenneth, yes. Clement Freud's books selling at the publishers have got nothing to do with model making, so you have the subject with a point, of course, and 41 seconds left for model making starting now.
You shouldn't make models, and you shouldn't make anybody. You should let them do whatever they want to do of their own free will. After all, this is what freedom is about. You shouldn't make...
Andre Melli, you challenge.
Deviation is talking about freedom, not about models.
I think you probably need a certain amount of freedom whether you make them or not. So, Kenneth Williams, you still have the subject, and you have 32 seconds left starting now.
Freedom, not to make people do anything. Freedom, after all, wasn't it, Jefferson?
Clement Freud.
Yeah. I've got a thing out, had I?
You got out models a great number of times. No, freedom you came out with a great number of times. And so Clement Freud has the subject back starting now.
A number of toy shops in most big cities in the country sell a kit whereby you can make your own models at home. And for an aeroplane, this is a very handy thing to have. You get the wings, the undercarriage, and the wheels and the propeller, also a rubber band and some small metal pins. And by use of this, you can make the most superb small model aeroplane, which many people use and go on.
Derek Nimmo, you challenge. Why?
Hesitation.
Hesitation, you have a point. You have 4 seconds for model making starting now.
Glue, preferably of the spirit variety.
Andre Melli, why do you challenge?
Hesitation, par preferably.
That was the name of the brand, you see. Glue, preferably. It's a very well-known brand.
Would you like to say it again, Derek Nimmo?
Glue, preferably. It's a very well-known
Yes.
brand.
I wasn't sure until you repeated it that it was, so Andre has a point, and she has 3 seconds left for model making starting now.
Tall, thin girls make expert models.
So it's a pretty keen game. Clement Freud leading Derek Nimmo by 2. Derek Nimmo leading Kenneth Williams. No, he's equal with Kenneth Williams. Kenneth, you're in second place for the first time.
Oh, how lovely. At last I've been vindicated.
You can say that when you win one time. Andre is 1 point behind you in 4th place. Kenneth Williams, it's your turn to begin. Osteopathy is the subject. if you'd like to have a little think about it and start talking for just a minute now.
Osteopathy deals with the study of bones, and it is to do with the manipulation of those bones. And I once had one manipulate me, and he hit my funny bone. And I started laughing. It was really a scream. If you'd been there, you'd have died laughing. Because I started going, you know, oh, I said, and he said, hang on a minute, I've only just touched it. I've not actually manipulated it. What I've got to do is to get the bowl back in the socket. I mean, the socket back in the bowl. And by the time we both finished laughing, the thing didn't get back in at all, so I had to go again. Well, one visit led to
Andre Melly, why you challenge?
Repetition, because he had to go again.
Exactly. Well done, Andre Melly. It was quite a repetition of laughter, too, wasn't it? Anyway, Andre, you have another point, and you have 25 seconds for osteopathy starting now.
It's a very difficult subject to study because I imagine you have to know every bone in the body, starting with the toes and working up the legs, hip bones, pelvis, ribs, all those spare ones, collarbones, skull, and your coccyx and all the vertebrae. I believe there are...
Clement Freud, why do you challenge? Clement, you have a point, and you have 7 seconds for osteopathy starting now.
One of the nicest things about osteopathy is that osteopaths never have people who die on them. They just don't get very well, and they're never cured.
Clement Freud has a small lead over Kenneth Williams, who's now in second place, who leads Derek Nimmer by 1, equal with Andre Melly. Andre, it's your turn to begin. Backing out of the garage. Would you like to tell us in just 60 seconds how you do that starting now?
The most important thing is to open the garage doors first. Then see that there isn't a rockery or a flower bed or a 20-foot drop just beyond the doors. Then you get into the car and see that the car is in neutral. Turn the engine on.
Derek Nimmer, you challenge. Hesitation, indeed.
I'm waiting for the engine to warm up.
A clever try, Andre, but alas, too late. The engine didn't fire quick enough for you. 42 seconds, Derek Nimmo, for backing out of the garage starting now.
Well, I usually crawl out backwards, actually. I usually find it more convenient that way. What I do is roll my trousers up, you see, get down on my hands and knees, and shuffle gently towards the door. I hold a mirror in my right hand so I can see which way I'm going, and I hold a torch in my left hand so I can see if it's a dark night, which...
Andre Melly.
Hesitation.
Hesitation, indeed, yes.
No.
This clever idea of 22 seconds for backing out of the garage starting now.
Once in reverse, you look into the driving mirror, slowly...
Derek Nimmo, why do you challenge?
Repetition. She's looked in it twice.
I don't remember...
Your mirror.
No, she looked in to see if the doors were open a moment ago.
Yes, I don't think she has actually repeated the thing really, truly. So it is 18 seconds left for Andre Melly with another point. Backing out of the garage, Andre, starting now.
I let my foot very slowly come up from the clutch and accelerate a teeny-weeny bit, seeing that...
Clement Freud, why do you
Hesitation.
Yes, there was. She was getting more than hesitating, rather slow, which is...
Well, you can't do it quickly.
I know, but there comes a point when a very slow speech becomes a hesitation. I grant it to Clement Freud with 10 seconds for backing out of the garage starting now.
Many instructors say that you must back out of a garage slowly. I've always thought this was a great mistake because the faster you go into a main road...
Andre Melly.
Hesitation.
Hesitation, indeed. You have 3 seconds for backing out of the garage still starting now.
Turn on your right lock and quickly reverse.
Derek Nimmo, your turn to begin. Useless household gadgets. That's the subject, Derek. Have you writing it down?
Yeah.
Right. Think a second and then start now.
Sorry, I'm trying to write it down.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry.
I've written it... I spelt it wrongly, you see.
Well, that's devious for a start, isn't it?
Yes, right. Now, I'm already prepared. Right.
All right. Derek Nimmo has written down useless household gadgets, and he's going to try and talk about it for 60 seconds starting now.
These are the sort of things that when you go to big exhibitions at places like Olympia and Earl's Court, you're always finding displayed by very capable people in white clothes, and they hold them up and say, look, this is a marvellous thing for turning an apple into a little flower.
Kenneth Williams.
Hesitation.
Hesitation, indeed. Kenneth, can you talk for the next 46 seconds on useless useless household gadgets starting now.
Useless household gadgets obviously are those ones which don't work when you try them out in the practical sense of try out.
Clement Freud, you challenge. Why?
Oh, it does make me laugh.
It makes us laugh, too. Clement Freud, you challenge.
Yes.
Why?
The lot. I mean, hesitation and repetition.
All right, hesitation, deviation, and repetition. No, not repetition, but anyway. You have a point, indeed, Clement Freud. You have 37 seconds for useless household gadgets starting now.
The two most useless gadgets I've ever come across was a potato peeler which did not peel potatoes and a tin opener which failed to perform that simple function because it had no spear that pierced the metal as it was meant to do by the designer.
Derek Nimmer, why do you challenge?
Well, he's going so slowly now it's hesitation.
No, I don't.
Yes.
Kenneth Williams, I must tell you, you won't get any points at all unless you keep your hand on that little buzzer thing.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I was again.
I got so worried during that thing. Anyway, no, Clement Freud, I don't think you were going slow on this occasion, so you have another point, and you have 22 seconds left for useless household gadgets starting now.
There's not at the moment a shop in any town in this country which specializes in useless household gadgets. Every shop seems to take a fair share.
Kenneth Williams, you challenge.
Deviation is boring, completely boring.
It may be boring, but quickly think of a better challenge, otherwise you don't get it.
Oh, I can't.
Boring is not within the game, alas. I'm afraid all that happens
sorry.
is Clement Freud has another point, and he has 14 seconds for useless household gadgets starting now.
Pot scourers that have no emery upon them, wallpaper that does not adhere to walls, a paintbrush that has no bristles.
Andre Melli, why do you challenge?
I don't think wallpaper's a gadget.
Oh.
Deviation.
Very clever. Well done, Andre Melli. A point to you, and there are 6 seconds for useless household gadgets starting now.
I'm left-handed, so nearly all the gadgets are absolutely useless for me. Though I do believe a shop has just...
Right, Andre Melli has another point there. Let me write it down. So, unfortunately, Clement Freud has just overtaken her. He now is 2 points ahead of Andre... Clement Freud, why do you challenge?
What do you mean, unfortunately?
Because... I'll tell you exactly what I mean, Clement. You see, I'm a naturally chivalrous person. There's only one woman here against 3 men, so I rather must admit I like to see the woman occasionally win. And it hasn't happened yet.
You mean you're biased?
Yes.
And more power to your elbow.
I don't want to take my elbow to your office. Clement Freud has a small lead over Andre Melli, and Kenneth Williams is third. Derek Nimmer is 1 point behind fourth. Oh, I know. We'll have a penalty on this round. And, yes, because Clement Freud is going to start. That's a very good reason for having a penalty, because he's doing jolly well. The penalty is the word and. They must not, during this round, mention the word and. The subject is anniversaries, Clement Freud, and you begin now.
Anniversaries are occasions upon which you come up to a date which you've come up to before. There are a lot of dates.
Andre Melli, you challenge why?
Repetition if you've come up to it before.
Yes, indeed. Well done, Andre Melli. You have another point. You have 52 seconds for anniversaries. You mustn't mention the word and you begin now.
Wedding anniversaries have different...
Derek Nimmo, you challenge. Hesitation, indeed. Anniversaries, no ands. Derek, starting now.
The Andes are the rather interesting mountains to go up around to see, because, you see, if you want to go around them, sometimes it doesn't...
Kenneth Williams, why do you challenge?
Well, what's the Andes got to do with anniversaries?
I quite
Nicholas,
agree.
come, you knew very well why I was challenging. Deviation.
I know, but the general public wish to hear as well.
Oh, deviation.
All right, you've established your point. And you gained a point.
I once spent a birthday in the Andes.
Ah!
Very happy anniversary it was, too.
Never been there this time.
Well, it's a bit late now to spend your birthday, unfortunately, Derek, because I've already awarded a point to Kenneth Williams, and we can't take them back. There are 42 seconds left for Kenneth Williams to talk about anniversaries with no ands. Kenneth, starting now.
Anniversaries are the celebrating of events, of course, with 1 year in between. Mafficking, Lady Smith, and...
Clement Freud. Yes, indeed. And so anniversaries, Clement, and there are 29 seconds left, starting now.
Andrea, who is a friend of mine, lives in Andover. Spent her anniversaries frequently in Andorra, which is an ideal place for celebrating this sort of occasion. Andrea's a girl of 19 who, when she is 20, will have an absolutely super day and a cake baked by one...
Andre Melly, why...
And a cake.
Oh, yes!
And I think you were all listening so hard for the ands, you missed the hesitation as well. But anyway, Andre, you have another point. You have 9 seconds for anniversaries, no ands, starting now.
Birthdays are the kind of anniversaries which are celebrated most. Your first, then your second, your third, fourth.
Clement Freud.
Repetition of anniversaries.
Yes, what a pity, Andre. You have another point, Clement Freud. You have 1 second for anniversaries, starting now.
Cake sponge.
So anniversaries has put Clement Freud with another anniversary. In other words, he's kept the lead. 14 points, I think, over Andre Melly, who's second place, Kenneth Williams third, and Derek Nimmo still trailing a little. Kenneth Williams, your turn to talk. And the subject, which is probably something you can go very well about, talking big. Talk big if you can, for 60 seconds, Derek, starting now.
Talk big means really like walk big, and I walk big and I talk big. I mean, you've got to. It's all apropos of the image you have inside yourself, so that comes out in your conversation. Some people can be minuscule. What you moving my hand for? Oh, sorry. Heard he was pushing my hand. Some people talk...
Well, I think hesitation, deviation, and repetition, actually.
Well, unfortunately, as the game is in progress, whatever happens, I've got to grant it to you, Derek. I quite agree. So it is... We want to say something, a message.
Let Kenneth have it, because it was an accident.
Our producer has signalled to me that it was an accident, so Kenneth Williams has it. I have been
Do you
overruled.
mean to say that Clement Freud didn't know he was holding his hand?
We thought that they were holding hands. Our producer, who has the final judge, considers it was an accident that they were holding hands. So...
We can go on holding hands.
So they could go on holding hands.
We are holding ours on purpose.
I must point out they are sitting next to each other. Otherwise, it would be very devious. There are no points awarded. There are 42 seconds left for Talking Big, Kenneth Williams, starting now.
Talking big is largely the result of psychological thinking. You see, the way you think of yourself is the way you will talk of yourself. Take Mao Zedong. He swam right the way up the Yangtze, according to the Chinese newspapers. But that's what I mean. You see, it makes you feel. If you feel big, you can talk big, you can act big, you can be big.
Why don't...
Repetition.
Yes,
a lot of big.
Oh, so big, yes. Andre, you have a point, and you gained a point as well, and you have 37 seconds for talking big. Will you two stop holding hands and let's get on with the game? Andre Melly, would you like to talk for 37 seconds on Talking Big, starting now?
Talking big means swanking or blowing your own trumpet about things you've done and things you think you are and what you want to do in the future. And...
Derek Nimmo, you challenge. Hesitation, Derek. Talking big, starting now.
I want...
Andre Melly, you challenge. Hesitation, you have a point, Andre. 3 seconds left. Talking big, starting now.
It's better if you're talking big to have a very large mouth with which to do it.
Andre's Talking Big has taken her 1 point behind Clement Freud, who's still in the lead, and Derek Nimmo and Kenneth Williams are both still trailing a little. Andre Melly, your turn to begin. Perhaps you can jump into the lead on this one. The Au Pair Girl. Starting now.
The trouble with au pair girls is that they very seldom speak the same language as you do, which makes living with them rather complicated. They're often very pretty, sometimes Swedish, perhaps Danish, Italian, French, young as a rule, and they come to England to study English, and they have to go to classes and help.
Clement Freud.
Hesitation.
You came to our help because of a hesitation. Clement Freud, you have 40 seconds for the au pair girl, starting now. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't fair.
Oh, I thought it was lovely. I thought it was lovely.
I'm glad you appreciate my jokes, Kenneth. I appreciate yours as well. I think it's only fair to start that particular phrase again. But I will still say it. You have 40 seconds left. Clement Freud, starting now.
Au pair is French for to the pair, which is a very good description of a girl because invariably you don't get one. She has an ugly friend who phones up and to whom she phones, reversing the telephone charges. They come into this country ostensibly to look after your children or do the household chores, and many of them do come from foreign countries and try and learn English or...
Andre Melly. Hesitation indeed. Andre, you have the au pair girl back with you, and you have 13 and a half seconds left, starting now.
It's always rather vague as to what they're expected to do. They think they should have a nice room with a telephone...
Clement Freud, why you challenge?
Deviation.
Why?
She's not said anything. She's being vague.
She's talking about the au pair girl who expected that she should have a nice room. Andre, I'm with you. The au pair girls also expect a nice room. You have 8 seconds for the au pair girl starting now.
They're like a television set. Perhaps they look after your children for a bit and occasionally do a bit of washing up. And...
Derek Nimmer, you challenge. Why? Why? No, there was no hesitation. No, indeed not. No. There are 2 seconds left, Andre, for the au pair girl starting now.
Nanette or Carla.
Andre Melly blanched when I gave her the subject, but in spite of that, it's taken her into the lead with 2 points ahead of Clement Freud, and Derek Nimmo and Kenneth Williams are still trailing just a little. Derek Nimmo, it is your turn to begin. Punctuality, a thing all actors, I think, have difficulty with. But would you talk, if you can, for just a minute, starting now?
Punctuality means arriving at the right moment at the right time. It is indeed something which I have great difficulty in managing to perform. I generally arrive a little late, I'm ashamed to say. But I would like to be punctual. I would like to be always arriving at the right moment. You know, one of the funny and extraordinary things about life is when you get off a little trolley bus in Glasgow and you suddenly...
Andre Melly, why do you challenge?
Deviation.
Why?
Because he's getting off a trolley bus in Glasgow.
Exactly, and that...
But it was on time.
Trolley buses in Glasgow are never on time because I was born in Glasgow. I know Glasgow very well indeed. They're always behind time, so Andre has another point. 35 seconds left, Andre, starting now.
To be punctual if you're an actor and working in the theatre is quite difficult because you have to arrive 30 minutes before...
Derek Nimmer, you challenge. Why?
Well, because she's not an actor, she's an actress, you see. Deviation.
Ah, yes. But sometimes one often says inclusively the actors were good, meaning the whole cast. It includes the ladies as well. So, Andre, you have 30 seconds for punctuality starting now.
30 minutes before the curtain goes up. And in fact, this means 35 minutes before, which is always very confusing. Then you're the... Oh.
Derek Nimmer. Hesitation indeed. You have the subject with 20 seconds left for punctuality starting now.
I synchronized my watch with my friend and I board my Glaswegian trolley bus. It is 8 o'clock by my watch. Precisely, exactly 8 o'clock.
Andre Melly, why do you...
Repetition exactly is the same as precisely.
No, it's a different word altogether.
It's a different word. I don't think that's right. I mean...
it's a synonym, isn't repetition?
Well done, Kenneth Williams. Marvellously done. But as it's a different word, I can't give you repetition. I don't think within the context of the game. Derek has another point. He has 10 seconds left for punctuality starting now.
Did you mean to meet me here at this precise moment, I said? Of course I did. Of course I did. It's his uncle, do you see? Yes, I look at my watch.
Lovely. Oh, wasn't it good? This is second.
Well, I'll work upwards in giving the final result. I won't give the actual points. It might embarrass some people. But Kenneth Williams was, alas, just in 4th place.
But I tried, didn't I? I had a good start. You can't say I wasn't game.
No, as chairman, you were very trying on occasion.
Thank you.
And sitting next to Clement Freud, you were very game on occasion.
Oh, you're intrepid, you are.
Derek Nimmo has gone definitely into 3rd place. He's a little way behind Clement Freud, who is in 2nd place. And for the first time, we've had our only lady challenger win. And so it's wonderful. Congratulations to Andre Melly.
Chairman of Just a Minute was Nicholas Parsons. The program was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by David Hash.